The Rundown on A2DRadio.com, and it finally feels like winter as we hit the new year. 2016 is upon us.
Yep. It's not 75 degrees out no more.
Yeah, it was feeling like Florida for a long time. My dad was excited. He wants to move to Florida in a couple years, and he was like, heck with Florida, I don't have to move if this is how winter's going to feel every year. And then, just it lasted a couple weeks. Everybody was all excited, and now we're right back to our just
20
depressing
degrees every night.
New Jersey, winters. They suck. Speaking of suck, a lot of sucking going on in this city as we continue to recover, and I guess depending on who you are, either get over the fact that Chip Kelly is no longer here, or now move on with your happiness and your positive state of mind for all you Chip Kelly haters, I guess, out there, you could say, who are now happy that we're moving on. I know I hear the word, people kind of feel a sense of cleanliness.
Well, my
like
dream
a clean slate has
my
been
dream
wiped
scenario
upon
is done.
Sean Payton
Payton.
staying.
Yep.
Sean Payton staying. My dream scenario, I like the idea of Chuck Pagano coming here. I thought he was out the door. I think we all thought he was out the door. I think everybody, all the main football analysts all around the country, Pagano's out the door. He's not going to be back in Indianapolis. And like 3 o'clock in the morning, all of a sudden things change. And next thing you know, he's got a 4-year extension. And that leads us to where we're now having conversations about Doug Peterson being the next head coach,
No,
which
he's
we'll
not.
get into a little bit later. I think it's crazy. I could not. I might go nuts if he comes here. We kind of touched on that a little bit last week as far as what we thought our qualified candidates will be, and here we go. That'd be my worst nightmare.
Eagles law.
We'll get into
a
it.
big step back. They took a big step
We'll get
back.
into it. Listen, there's people here. Our boss Tom Arnone. He's been very open about how he would like the idea of Peterson coming in because of his connection to the Andy Reid tree. And listen, that's a great. It's a great conversation. It ends up leading to great debates, so it's something we should get in a little bit later because, listen, Tom's a real smart guy and has all of his reasons, but I think us here on the Rundown at least kind of feel the opposite, and we've got our reasons as well. So we're going to get into that a little bit later. But first, our kickoff, I guess you could call it headline, segment, whatever you want. The NFL playoffs is going to start this weekend. And we got to make our predictions because, let's face it, once the playoffs start, you can't make your predictions next week. That's fraudulent. Already a week is past. So you got to go with your predictions this week. So we're going to get into that. We're going to have what would you rather the Eagles do? Reset or retool? That's going to be a fun conversation because I think there's going to be people on, both sides of the fence on that. It might be split right down the middle on what people want. Completely blow this thing up and let's rebuild around the young talent, or let's try to retool and continue to be competitive. We're going to get into the Eagles head coaching search as that continues. And, again, as I touched on, we're going to talk about Doug Peterson. First, though, we're brought to you, as always, by Catering by Obi, changing the world one dish at a time. You can contact Chris O'Brien at 856-534-8410. Email him at cateringbyobi@yahoo.com. Tell him Tom Arnone or anybody here at A2DRadio.com sent you, and you'll get 20% off. You can follow him at Facebook at Catering by Obi. Fellas, we're live in the Kingsgate Realty Studios here in Burlington. Unfortunately, we mentioned 20 degrees outside, so a lot nicer in here than it is outside. Yeah. Let's jump right into it. Ralph, Sean, NFL playoff predictions, they start this weekend. What do you guys see happening?
Want me to go first?
Yeah, you
I'll
can go first.
All right. My Super Bowl predictions. It will be a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. It's going to be Terrific Tom in his 7th Super Bowl appearance. Terrific Tom.
Terrific. Get it right.
I'm going to call him Terrific Tom.
Oh, okay.
Tom Terrific Tom. He's the best quarterback
in the history of the game.
Well,
no,
we'll leave right there. Yes, he is. By far.
Peyton Manning.
We can get into
better than Tom Brady.
You're crazy.
We're not even 5 minutes
You're
in.
Crazy.
Here we go.
Anyway.
Good Lord.
Terrific Tom Terrific. The greatest quarterback of all time. The greatest quarterback I ever saw.
He's a cheater,
the
dude.
199th overall draft pick. I mean, let's come on. Let's be honest.
He's
We'll
a
never see
cheater,
another.
Sean.
quarterback.
Everybody
No, he's
cheats at
not.
the NFL level. Everybody cheats in professional sports.
Listen, if Tom Brady right now,
That
was
is
a free
true,
agent,
Matthew.
you would have 31 teams going after Terrific Tom right now. Anyway, we're gonna.
Hey, not the Eagles.
Yeah, okay.
You can make
not
it
the Eagles.
30.
Yeah,
the
okay.
Eagle. You really you wouldn't take Tom Brady on
Nope.
this team right now?
Nope.
You're crazy.
Get out of my studio.
You're crazy.
Get out of my studio. Me and Sean are going to do the show
Yeah.
the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Ralph has been fired.
Yeah. Yo,
Come back
Ralph,
to the meeting later
Ralph,
tonight.
Ralph, 1.9 seconds. The ball's out of his
I
hands.
know.
1.9.
And he turns guys like Julian Edelman into franchise receivers. That's a scary
I
thought.
mean, he has no Pro Bowl wide receivers.
No, he
I mean,
never
the only All Pro wide receiver he had was Moss, and he had 50 touchdown passes.
Yeah.
And Moss that year has 24 an NFL record. 24 touchdown passes in one
Moss
season.
was with Tom Brady his whole
which
entire
which
career.
means he's still throwing 26 to scrubs.
It's ridiculous.
He's throwing 26 to the mailman and the paper boy.
And Tom Brady made Bill Belichick. I mean, I looked at an article the other day. Chip Kelly and Bill Belichick both have almost identical stats the first 3 seasons. The only problem is
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady, number 12.
Well, yeah, I saw a similar number where they were comparing when you looked at Belichick's first 4 or 5 years, whatever it was, when he was the head coach of Cleveland, and then he comes. People make a comparison because of people that were trying to talk about coaches that are more successful the second time around, and how Belichick, really was an underachiever in Cleveland, taking over for Marty Schottenheimer in a franchise that wasn't the Cleveland Browns we know now. They were actually winning games and going to playoff appearances then. And then the fact that he ends up after that in New England, and now he's the greatest coach of all time.
Yep.
It's like, his first year in New England, he goes 5-11 with Drew Bledsoe, and Drew Bledsoe's a borderline Hall of Famer in a lot of people's minds. It's not like he was a bad quarterback. He went to a Super Bowl. What changes? Well, a guy named Tom Brady walks in your door, and next thing you know, over the next 12 years, you're the most consistent franchise in NFL history.
Well, on top of that, Bill Belichick does a lot of stuff, a lot of schemes, and he reads in between the lines. Let's go back to Bill Belichick. Even last week, it reported that Bill Belichick, inside source says Bill Belichick actually threw the coin toss because he was avoiding the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Bill Belichick goes, okay, no, seriously.
I know, it wouldn't shock me.
Bill
That's the funny thing about
Belichick
it.
told one of his players to, if you win the coin toss,
he
decline
definitely
it.
wanted
Okay,
to kick.
we want to kick the ball because we want to lose this game.
yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
I mean, I could see it happen, but I mean, at the same time, with the way overtime rules work now, you could also see it being a strategy play on his point of, hey, I trust my defense. We want to know what we have to do to win once we get the ball.
Yeah.
I trust to at least hold you to a field goal, and then we know what we got to go do. But it's
how about
Belichick.
this?
It wouldn't surprise me if
I
what
got
you're saying
another.
is true.
I got another one. Bill Belichick does.
Oh, Jesus.
Number 77 is an eligible receiver. Number 77 is reported an eligible receiver. That means number 77, an offensive lineman, could go out for a pass. I mean, how many times you see that?
Yeah.
You can't have an offensive lineman going out for the receive a pass. I mean,
Warren
it's illegal.
Sapp used to go out all the time.
But guess
Catch
what?
touchdowns.
Bill Belichick is so smart. I want to head coach. My next coach, I'm going to come in and I want to take chances like that. Hey. Listen, if you get a penalty, what is it? A 5-yard penalty?
So was Josh McDaniels your guy then? You like the idea of Josh McDaniels
If Josh
coming right out of that system?
Well, I don't know if Josh
No.
McDaniels is going to take opportunities to
Terrible
take
coach.
chances like that.
Terrible
coach. But there's another example. How about this one? The Deflategate. Okay, Deflategate only came out because Eric Mangini wound up leaving the New England Patriots and went to the New York Jets
And blew
Eric,
it up.
And
He
Eric
was pissed
Mangini,
off at New England.
said, you know what? We have a Deflategate.
If only we could trade for Bill Belichick.
But every team in the NFL does Deflategate.
Yeah,
every
exactly.
team in the
Every-
NFL
every team
Brings their
cheats.
own balls
we
to the
got you.
game.
So,
every
bring their own
team,
balls.
every
so
team
you've got
does that.
Patriots Seahawks.
And
Yes.
Okay.
Patriots rematch. Yes.
Patriots Seahawks rematch. Ralph.
it's going to be another rematch. It's not going to be. I think it's Steelers and Cardinals. Everybody says you don't let the Steelers into the playoffs, and you already did.
Yeah. No, I like the idea
I think
of the Steelers.
the Steelers are the underdogs in this whole tournament, and they got in, and now everybody's scared of them.
I think
Look at the
I think
Patriots.
I think the
If
Steelers.
if that story's really true, that Bill Belichick really threw the coin toss not to play the Steelers, that's a lot of respect to Pittsburgh.
Well,
It's a lot of respect.
Yeah, they do.
I'm
Yeah,
with
they
you.
have a lot
I
of
think
respect.
Pittsburgh represents the AFC in the Super Bowl for that reason. I think the only team they have to worry about in the AFC playoffs is New England. If
And
they,
that's it.
If they beat New
Listen,
England,
you beat New England, you're going to the
Kansas
Super Bowl.
Kansas City's not going anywhere. I think they might lose to AJ McCarron starting for the Bengals
Yeah.
against KC, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals win that game.
What does-
Alex Smith's not going to win you anything in
Listen,
this league.
if Andy Dalton was playing against,
The Bengals would still not make the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
but-
if Andy
They're,
Dalton's
they're,
the
they're the
quarterback,
same. They're the same old team.
if
down
Andy
here.
Dalton's the
Come on,
quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals going into the playoff game, and he loses, he's out. He's out. He's out.
I'm going to tell you I touched.
He's out as the quarterback of the
I touched
Cincinnati
this on
Bengals.
last week. The blueprints of the NFL to win a Super Bowl is called the Pittsburgh Steelers blueprints.
It is.
Run game,
well, let's-
and a banging defense.
Well, let's break this down real quick because let's look at this playoff bracket, right? Because you got the Steelers, right, and we'll just look at the AFC at the moment. You got the Patriots, you got the Colts, you got the Chiefs, got the Steelers, or not the Colts. I meant the
Texans.
I didn't mean the
Well,
Colts. I meant the Broncos.
I'm
thinking of Peyton Manning, and I meant the Broncos.
Yeah.
Not the. You got the Patriots, you got the Broncos, you got the Chiefs, you got the Steelers, you got the Bengals, and you've got the Texans.
Yeah.
Now the Texans,
They play KC first.
they've won a game with 4 different starting quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to beat KC. Then they're playing KC in the first round.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they find Bill
Better
O'Brien's going to find a way to beat
Well,
KC.
when you have Andy Reid,
Whether Brian Hoyer's
Andy
there or
Reid,
not.
Andy Reid still to this day does not know how to adjust after halftime. Still,
Well,
I mean, look at that. Look at the last time he was in the playoffs. I mean, I understand. There was players that were knocked out of the game, but Andy
Right.
Reid was up. I think it was, what was it, 30?
Yeah, the
30,
Colts- the Colts make the
31 to
comeback.
7, I think. At,
Yeah.
at
I mean,
halftime.
It was
yeah,
tied for the
okay,
second
30,
biggest comeback in playoff
31
history.
and 31 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they came back and they beat you.
Yeah.
I mean that's called Andy Reid. Just first of all, he doesn't know how to adjust. Number one, and he can't run the.
Well-
you got to run the ball when you're up.
Well,
run the
well,
ball.
Well, here's my other thing with this, and I think there's something else that plays into this. The Kansas City Chiefs haven't won a playoff game since Marty Schottenheimer was the head coach all the way, and Joe Montana was their quarterback. How about this? You had Joe
man.
Montana as the quarterback, Marcus Allen was the running back,
Wow.
and Marty Schottenheimer was the head coach. The year, I believe,
Wow.
was the year I was born, 1993. It might have been 94. Regardless, the Chiefs have not won a playoff game in
Yeah.
more than 20 years. That's not going to change. There's just a karma that's
Yeah.
going on out there in Kansas City. They will not win a playoff game, not this year, and I don't think it happens until Alex
and I
Smith
think
is no longer your quarterback.
and I agree with you. And I think Cincinnati's the same old.
I think Cincinnati's
old,
one and
same
done
old.
this year.
They are.
Listen, I said this about Cincinnati.
You really think A.J. McCarron's going to
well,
get it done for
listen,
Cincinnati?
people thought
I don't
Andy
think
Dalton.
I don't think he's getting it done, Zach.
No, he's not. People thought Andy Dalton was a different quarterback this year. I just look at it as, okay, he's taking a little bit better care of the ball, but they have all this talent on the team. When you have that much talent, me and you could go be throwing touchdowns
Yes.
to Tyler Eifert and A.J. Green.
Yes.
Hell, I mean, A.J. McCarron, he doesn't look – I mean, the guy –
I feel bad
the
for
guy's
Marvin
not
Lewis.
a good quarterback.
I feel bad for Marvin Lewis though.
Well,
I mean, he's going to be.
I don't, because the
he's
guy's
go-
never won a playoff
All right,
game. He's
he-
had Carson
all right,
Palmer,
he
he's had
loses.
Andy Dalton.
If he loses and he's out, he's one and done. Is Marvin Lewis have a job? Is there going to be another head coach in Cincinnati?
I think there is,
Yeah,
and he's 0-7 in the playoffs, and you can't get out of the first round?
Listen, I would say if I'm the owner, if I'm the GM, yes. But here's Marvin Lewis has had 9 lives out in Cincinnati for close to
And this is his
14
last run.
years
This is his
now.
last run.
Yeah.
If he doesn't
I would
get out of
tend
the
to-
first round,
Yeah,
he's done.
But Ralph, me and you aren't calling the shots. You got to look at the way that organization's been run. They, for whatever reason, Marvin Lewis has never won diddly squat in the history of his NFL coaching career. Yet he somehow have survived for 14 years out in that place.
That's ridiculous.
I don't. He's 0-6. He would have been fired 5 years ago if it was me. But I don't know the way they operate out there. They love him so damn much. I could see Brown bringing him back again.
All I want. This is all I want. I just want an opportunity to post something where I can just get a head coaching job. Just give me to Cleveland. I'll listen. Just say,
You
Sean,
wanna be a head
Sean,
coach?
We're gonna start you
God.
off in Cleveland. And if something happens and I can turn the Cleveland Browns around, I will get another chance elsewhere. I mean, I'm just telling you, the Cleveland Browns are a mess.
What's in your coffee cup?
I'm just telling you. Yeah, listen, the Cleveland Browns
Yeah,
are
they're
an absolute
terrible.
mess.
Terrible.
What's
No,
the
I
record?
got- I
What's the
got you.
record again this year?
I got it's
3
it's
and
bad
13.
again. I got you.
Okay,
3-13.
3 and
But-
13, exactly. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not going to be 3 and 13. I think I could do a better job than
Oh
3 and
my
13. Yeah, 3 and 13. 3 and 13.
I got you.
I
got
think
you.
I can get 4 wins, 5 wins my first year.
How did the
3
Browns
and
enter this
13.
conversation? They haven't been to the playoffs in 20
because
years.
we're talking about Ohio, guys.
Yeah.
We're talking about Cincinnati. We're talking about
Ugh.
Ohio.
I've
We're
been
talking
to
about
Ohio.
Cleveland.
Have
Oh,
you ever
I
been
did
there?
too. Yeah,
Ugh.
I went
Why
there.
are we talking about it?
I was there. I'm telling you. I just
Ugh.
told you they had a statue of LeBron James.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all
No,
they
that's
have in
it.
that city.
That's the
is
only thing
LeBron.
that comes good out of
That's
Cleveland
it.
is
The
LeBron
great,
James.
I'm going to tell you he's going to be the greatest basketball player. I don't mean to change subject,
Nah.
but yeah.
Nah.
Anyway,
let's not get off the rate.
Let's get on another
we're
subject.
we're 15 minutes in. We're already getting off topic. I've got the Steelers from the AFC for the reason I think if you take it's the Patriots or the Steelers because that's what
It's
it's
the
going to come
Steelers,
down
Zach.
to. The Bengals, the Texans, the Chiefs, they're not going to be able to beat Pittsburgh. The Broncos, I don't think they got the great defense, but whether Osweiler's the quarterback, whether Manning's the quarterback, I just don't
Manning
see
is-
They're
them.
going with Manning.
Manning is the
I
quarterback.
think
to
Manning
start
should
the
be the
playoffs.
quarterback starting the playoffs.
He
But
is.
either way,
Yeah.
I don't think that they're going to score enough points I think the Steelers end up winning that game. So what it comes down to for me in the AFC is Steelers-Patriots.
But the Broncos
That's what it comes down
the
to.
Broncos have a dynamite defense, fellas.
Yeah,
Dynamite.
I get that. They had a dynamite
Yeah, but the defense doesn't-
last year.
Yeah, but the defense don't
They had a
put up
diamond. They had
For the same
even
reason.
with Tim Tebow, we're going to go back. They had a great defense.
They had a dynamite defense last year for the same reason, because they knew Manning wasn't going to be able to carry them on his back there the way he did maybe the year before when he threw 55 touchdowns. And that good enough defense, that legit defense, wasn't enough to get him there last year. And Manning's a worse
Listen,
quarterback this year than he was last year.
Peyton Manning's done after this season.
Well,
It's one and out for.
he just
it's one
listen.
and
I
out for
think
Denver.
Do I think he actually took steroids to come back? Yes,
I wouldn't.
I
listen,
do.
But
I'm going to
listen,
tell you. I think
but
he
here's
did.
my whole thing. The guy's healing from a neck fusion surgery.
Mm-hmm.
If there's ever an appropriate time to take steroids and say I'm going to try to save my NFL career, it'd be then. Like I might be paralyzed. Forget my football career. I might just take steroids just to make sure I can walk again and be okay for the rest of my life going forward.
Yeah.
In the NFC, you said you had.
The Cardinals.
You got the Cardinals. So
Yeah.
I mean that's a really realistic matchup right there. I
is
really like the Cardinals.
Carolina is overrated.
Yeah, they're going to be one and done.
One and done.
Yup.
Thank you.
Yup.
Thank
One and
you.
done.
One and
Yeah,
done.
listen.
Who are they playing?
They got a
Listen,
first round bye. So it's,
my uncle, my uncle and we have a bet going on. We actually have a I don't know if you're familiar with Not Just Wings.
Yeah.
We have a bet, a daily special,
Mhm.
okay, that I made this bet back in November 25th,
Yeah.
to be exact. We made a bet, and the bet is this. I told him the Carolina Panthers were going to get a first-round bye, and they were going to whoever goes into Carolina was going to upset them.
Yeah.
And I still think it.
I think it is.
I still think.
Cam Newton's overrated, dude. He is overrated, and he shouldn't win MVP, Zach.
Yes, he
The guy's
should.
over.
Yes,
no,
he
the
should.
guy has
No,
carried that
no,
team on his
no.
back.
Yes, he
Ralph.
should.
No,
Yes, he
no.
should.
15-1
I
because
got-
of Cam Newton.
Yeah, he eats a lot.
Because of Cam Newton?
The 15-1 because
are you
of
sure
Cam
it's-
Newton.
Are you sure it's not 15-1 because of the defense,
Well,
Zach?
that defense
my
is
God.
great, but
Come
still,
on, dude.
Cam
The
Newton-
defense is great.
Come
Cam
on,
Newton has been
dude.
the best football player on the offensive
Brady,
side of the
Tom
ball all
Brady,
year long.
Tom Brady should get
Stop it.
MVP. And
Tom
the
Brady
defense.
just lost to the
I
Dolphins.
thought you hated Tom Brady,
Tom Brady
Ralph.
just
But
lost
right
to
now
the
you gotta look at
Dolphins.
greatness, right?
Hey,
you stop, Ralph?
Yo, Ralph, I thought you
Dude,
wanted
there ain't
Tom-
no playoffs, dude.
You didn't want you want
Make
you
some-
didn't want
listen,
the Eagles to get
Make
Tom
some
Brady,
sense
Ralph.
when you talk. Don't just
Listen,
don't just
at the-
blindly say
listen,
things.
At the end of this,
blindly
at the
say
end of
things,
their
Ralph.
career, who's got more rings, dude?
What the hell does that have to do with anything at the moment?
It does.
Doesn't have anything to do with
Listen,
anything
Tom
at
Brady
this
should
point.
win MVP, dude.
Why? Because he has more rings than Cam
Tom-
Newton?
no,
Tom
Tom-
Brady should have more MVPs because
Listen,
he's throwing to nobody.
I'm the biggest Tom Brady fan, and I'm going to tell you,
Cam Newton's throwing to 10 Gid Jr.
Cam
He's
Newton.
got Greg Olson right
Cam
now.
Newton has it locked up, and I'm the biggest
Tom Brady has
fan.
Ron Gronkowski, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, a lot
does
more
he?
weapons on that
Listen,
team than Cam
listen,
Newton has.
Julian Edelman goes somewhere else and he's a
Christ.
bust. And he's a bust. Look at Wes Welker, dude.
Ted Ginn can't catch a pass in any other
Oh my
system
God, dude,
besides
you're
when he's
wrong,
playing
dude.
with Cam Newton.
Actually,
and it's
he-
been two different times
Listen,
now.
he actually did pretty good when he was with the 49ers, right?
No, he didn't. That's
Oh,
why he was
come
run
on,
out of there.
dude.
He stunk in
Come
in
on,
San
dude.
Francisco.
Come on.
He was a complete bust in San
Yeah.
Francisco. That's why
Yeah.
he's no longer there.
Cam-
Listen, Tom
Cam
Brady
Newton-
should win MVP.
You're
No,
ridiculous.
listen, I am the biggest
Come on
Tom
now.
Brady fan, and I'm telling you,
God,
Cam
Ralph.
Newton has it locked.
No.
It is a locked.
The
Yeah.
team is 15-1. He lost his best receiver
Is it 15
to a
and,
torn
is it
ACL in
15 and 1
preseason.
or is it the whole defense should get the MVP?
The
I think
whole defense shouldn't get the MVP.
should get MVP.
Luke Kuechly's been a phenomenal player. Maybe he should be the
Oh my
defensive
God,
MVP.
dude.
Yeah, that
whole defense should get
Josh
MVP.
Norman's been a great cornerback.
Stop.
Cam Newton has carried that team
Yeah.
on his back for 17 weeks.
Then that's
now.
why the
By the
defense
way,
should get MVP.
hey, fellas,
Why?
by the
Because
way,
Cam Newton's carried him on his back, so the defense should get MVP.
The
Listen.
defense should get MVP
Yo.
because they've been carrying Cam Newton on their
Ralph,
back,
you
dude.
sound like an idiot.
Yo,
Listen, when your defense, when your
I'm trying
defense
to calm
is
you down.
when your defense is really good, yeah, your quarterback's going to be on the field half of the time, right? Tom Brady's not on the
still-
field half the time
he still
because
has-
he doesn't have a good defense, and
What
he's
are you
still
talking about?
And he's still
He
slinging
doesn't have
the
a
rock.
good defense. What are you talking about?
I'm
They're one of
talking
the top
about
defenses in football.
I'm talking about Carolina's defense. When you have a good defense, your quarterback's going to
New
be
England's got a great
Oh
defense
my-
too.
No, they don't, dude.
Oh, would you stop?
You just said they lost to the Dolphins.
Do you look at 17 to 10 because they couldn't
Yeah.
score points? Do you look at stats
You're
before
dumb,
you
dude.
talk?
You're-
Go
stop.
look at facts.
Come on.
Go to City with this dribble coming out of
Come
your
on.
mouth before you look at
Listen,
stats.
fellas.
Tom Brady should win MVP,
He's
not Cam
number
Newton.
Right,
two.
we're
He's
gonna
going to
take-
be number 2 this year, Ralph.
We'll come
You're
back.
talking to the biggest Tom Brady fan in Philadelphia.
we've gotta
I'm
take a
telling
break.
you, he's going to be number 2.
We'll come back. We can continue and pick up this
Ah,
conversation. We'll
man.
get into what the Eagles should do in the future going forward. This is the rundown on A2DRadio.com. We're brought to you by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control, your local pest control provider, family-owned and operated business. Call 856-341-3927. Go to Romeo'sPestControl.com. Visit their website to get more information.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
Hi, this is Matt Sudi of the Hockey Happy Hour. And if I want a night out in the town, but I don't want to miss the Flyers, there's only one place I'm going to, the Philly Sports Bar. Located in 31 South Black Horse Pike in Runnymede, New Jersey, it has over 40 plasma and HD TVs with a brick oven and a 2-story deck. This sports bar has truly surpassed everyone's expectations. For the one-of-a-kind sports memorabilia to the life-size sports figures, this bar stays true to its name. The Philly Sports Bar also provides a quality service along with an outstanding variety of the finest liquors and well-known beers with a family-friendly environment for everyone while remaining true to what they are, the best darn sports bar. So check out the Philly Sports Bar. You can give them a call at 856-939-4322. Send them an email at info@phillysportsbar.com or check out their website at www.phillysportsbar.com. That's the Philly Sports Bar in Runnymede, New Jersey.
This is Tom Arnone, owner and founder of A2DRadio.com. What if I told you I knew the best caterer in the business? Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It's Obie's Catering. You can contact Obie's Catering at cateringbyobi@yahoo.com or give Chris O'Brien a call at 856-534-8410. From graduations to wedding rehearsals to just if you need food cooked in your house. He'll do it all. He's trying to change the world one dish at a time. That's Obie's Catering. Chris O'Brien, 856-534-8410. Tell him Tommy A from A2DRadio.com sent you, and you'll get 20% off.
Hey guys, Rob Povia here from Fantasy Dominance Now and the Hockey Happy Hour with a quick question. Are you in need of a professional home improvement? Then contact Harry's Contracting, 609-638-6336. That's 609-638-6336. No job too big, no job too small. The owner, Harry Ernst, is a fully licensed general contractor. Tile work, bathroom and kitchen remodeling, and just about everything else. No matter what you need, Harry will leave your home looking as beautiful as ever. Harry's Contracting offers free estimates, and if you mention A2D Radio during the estimate, Harry will give you 15% off the quote. Give him the job, tack on another 5% for a total of 20% savings off his already insane low prices. So contact Harry's Contracting today, 609-638-6336, or email Harry's Contracting Improvements at gmail.com. Harry's Contracting, insane home improvements.
A2DRadio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to The Rundown, only on A2DRadio.com.
Yes, we are listening to The Rundown on A2DRadio.com, as Mr. Mataraki told you there in that little sweeper. Ralph and me were too busy arguing as we went off the into commercial break at the tail end of that first 20 minutes where I didn't even get my NFC team out there. And just to piss Ralph off, I'm going to go with the the Panthers to take on the Steelers.
Wow.
Just so I can piss Ralph.
Wow.
And I know, Sean, you think they're going to be one and done too. But I'm going to go Steelers-Panthers in my Super Bowl just to piss everybody in this room off. Now what?
All right.
Now who's the NFL MVP, Ralph?
All right. It's still going to be Tom Brady.
Yeah, let me tell you guys, when I was in Carolina, I want to bring it up. When I was in Carolina, I offered a Carolina Panthers fan. I said, we'll give you DeMarco Murray. We can't give you our second-round draft pick, so we'll give you our third, our fifth, and our seventh-round draft pick for Luke Kuechly. They laughed right in my face. They said, man, you are absolutely crazy.
You could try to give – remember when Mike Ditka traded away his whole draft with the Saints to get Ricky Williams?
Yeah.
Like he gave his first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, next year's first and second. Like he traded everything. He was like, just take the whole city of New Orleans. Take the Superdome. We don't need it. And just to draft Ricky Williams. Like that's like – if I'm Carolina, you could offer me –
But he's proven. Luke Kuechly is an absolute stud.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you could offer me a Mike Ditka type trade. Give me your whole draft for Luke Kuechly, and I'd be like, nope, sorry. If you're Carolina, you've got to think you've got a Ray Lewis playing the middle linebacker position in your defense for the next 15 years. I mean, you've got the centerpiece to what could be one of the greatest defenses in the history of football.
Brian Urlacher.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You look at defenses like that, the Ravens, that respected of a defense for a 10, 15-year period with Ray Lewis there. When Urlacher and Lance Briggs and guys like that were in Chicago with Lovie Smith, the type of respect they had defensively. That's the type of defense they could end up building over there in Carolina. And now Josh Norman is developed into the cornerback he is. Now you've got two centerpieces. I mean, like it's phenomenal, and that's why. And this is actually a great transition as we get into more Eagles talk and move more away from a national perspective. And what would you rather do? What would you rather? That was one of the weirdest do. What would you rather do? I sounded Southern. I don't know exactly how I sounded there. I sounded like I guess I was from Carolina. What would you rather the Eagles do? Reset or retool? And this is a great question for those of you listening that go on all of our social media platforms at A2DRadio.com. Chime in on this. What would you rather the Eagles do? Because, Sean, Ralph, I think this is going to be split down the middle in a lot of ways. Retool or reset?
Retool.
You want the Eagles to completely say, okay, listen, we've got a lot of young talent here, right? You got guys like Fletcher Cox. You got guys like Jordan Matthews. There's young talent here where you could say, okay, we could see guys like that being centerpieces to this team. You got them on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's bring in other young players. You like Connor Cook. I know, Ralph, obviously, is the Michigan State fan. Well, you want to draft a young quarterback? You want to blow everything up and say, okay, we might be bad for a couple years, but we're going to do this the right way. We're going to try to rebuild and got young talent here that we're going to try to build around going forward. Or do you want, which this city has been known for, we are an impatient sports city.
Yeah.
How patient will this city be if that's the case and we decide to go that path?
If we rebuild, there's going to be a lot of people changing their teams.
I can't rebuild.
Well, see,
you can't rebuild right now.
Before we get into this conversation, let's give the background here, okay? Because this is what if you're going to do this as the Eagles, and if you're Jeffrey Lurie and you're going to do this, as we know what this fan base is, and Jeffrey Lurie knows what this fan base is. He's been here long enough. This is going to be one of those moves you have to fully commit to. If you're going to say, okay, we're going to reset, we just want to completely reset, we're going to push the reset button, we're going to rebuild from scratch. You have a couple young players in place here that we're going to keep here and want them to be centerpieces going forward. We're going to rebuild everything else around them. You cannot have what we talked about last week, where we felt like maybe Jeffrey Lurie was influenced by the fans, by other people throughout the organization, by this person, by that cowboy, by this equipment manager, by this, locker room or clubhouse attendant, right? We thought there was other people in his ears saying, hey, listen, this is the way people feel about Chip. The players feel now, reports have come last week's show that, the players were kind of, Jeffrey Lurie got feedback from the players saying that they weren't on board with Chip. He had kind of lost the locker room and this and that. Whatever. We gave our opinions out there on that last week, so we're moving on from that perspective. But as far as what Jeffrey Lurie in this decision, he cannot say, okay, we're going to reset, we're going to rebuild, and then end of next year.
He's a good owner. I'm going to tell both of you guys that right now. Jeffrey Lurie's a good owner.
Well, I won't necessarily argue that point with you, but he can't in a year and a half or 2 years from now, after saying, okay, we want to rebuild, completely say, well, you know what? The fans are impatient. We're losing.
He wants to win. Big time.
I get that. But, hold on.
18 years. 18 years as an owner. Listen.
I'm going to throw it over to you in 10 seconds, okay?
Okay.
He wants to win. I get that. But that's what this conversation's about. So what is the best way to win? Because you can try to sit there and retool all you want and say, we're going to be competitive next year. And what that could end up doing is you could end up being the late 80s, late 90s Phillies, where you just keep trying to patch things instead of rebuilding. I don't want to get into a situation where instead of us rebuilding and getting we're just trying to patch. We're just trying to retool. And you never become anything better than a 9-7 or an 8-8 or a 10-6 football team. If we're going to do this, whichever way we decide to do it, we need to make sure that's the best way that we're trying to get to the Super Bowl. Not just be a 9-7 team that has a chance at winning the division every year, because that's not.
Well, that's what we try to do with Potato Chip.
The Sixers spent 6 years doing that, right? Where they were just floating in mediocrity as an 8 seed, and they finally were like, you know what? We want to be an 8 seed for the next 20 years, or we at least want to try to blow this up and at least maybe have a chance of making a run at an NBA Finals, right? We're going to take a quick break for station identification on A2DRadio.com. We'll come back with all that conversation.
You're listening to A2D Radio. A2D Radio. A2D Radio. At A2DRadio.com.
All right, real quick here. Reset or retool, we've been talking about it. I've kind of put it out there. There's the background. Ralph, you initially said no, you can't retool. You can't rebuild.
You got to retool with the whole team.
And Sean, I know you were kind of along the same line. So what's this reasoning behind it?
You got to retool. I don't want to sit here and be another 6-10 team for the next 20 years like the Sixers and wait. Well, I want to win now, Zach. I want to win now. I want to get to the playoffs, and I finally want to shut up all the Eagles haters, and I finally want to win a Super Bowl. I don't feel like waiting another 20 years when I'm 30-something years old and a Super Bowl finally happens. I don't want to wait that long.
And you think the best chance to do that, instead of pushing the reset button, you want to retool. So we got a quick fix. All right, so what's involved in this quick fix? Because, we don't have a franchise quarterback in place at the moment.
Reports came out saying that Fletcher Cox and Vinny Curry don't want to play for the Eagles unless Billy,
yes, they do.
And unless Billy Davis ain't here.
Well,
that's the only reason why they're
playing. Would you
want
to play for that guy?
Well,
that's the only reason they're signing.
I think that's irrelevant because we got a new coach and a new system coming. I don't think but he's a defensive coordinator. You don't survive this is a new regime. He's going to be out the door just like there is whenever a new general manager or a new head coach comes in.
Don't know that. We don't know that.
We do know that because whenever a new head coach or a new new regime comes in, new coordinators come with it. Especially when you're dealing with it's not like the guy's Dick LeBeau. You know what I mean? Who Dick LeBeau survives the turnover from Bill Cowher to Mike Tomlin. Why? Because he's Dick LeBeau. He's that good of a defensive coordinator.
I told you that's who I want.
You're a fan of Dick LeBeau, right?
Yes.
Billy Davis isn't Dick LeBeau. The guy's never had success anywhere he goes. He's not going to survive somebody else's turnover into a new regime.
You better sign them 2 big boys or your defense is going to be hurting next year.
You signed what 2 big boys?
Fletcher Cox.
He's already signed.
Yeah, he is at least going to be here next year.
He's already signed. They ain't letting him go.
He's at least here next year. His contract doesn't
listen,
run out
he
yet.
has the potential, and I'm going to say this on air. He has the potential, and this is even from Rex Ryan. Rex Ryan said, after the Eagles won that game against Buffalo, Rex Ryan came out and said, I laughed when they were comparing to Fletcher Cox to Jerome Brown and Reggie White. He goes, I'm not laughing no more. Let me tell you something. That dude, if you change the scheme, that guy gets double teamed
Fletcher
every
Cox.
play. He is an animal. He's the best play. He's the best defensive player
Sean,
on the Eagles
plain and
right
simple,
now.
you want a Fletcher
Hands down.
Cox comparison? Here's Fletcher Cox. He's Warren Sapp, okay? Fletcher Cox
He's a
can
stud.
be Warren Sapp. Okay, he's that type of defensive tackle. He's athletic enough where he can move all over the line of scrimmage. You don't have to just play him at the nose tackle position. You can line him up on a defensive end position and get a mismatch on a left tackle or a right tackle or a guard if you want. You can put him directly over the center if you want. He's athletic enough where he can get to the quarterback and get into the backfield and disrupt plays in so many different ways. That's how he reminds me of Warren Sapp.
Yes. And you want to know what we're losing? All right, we're losing Cedric Thornton. He's done. We need to sign. We have to sign Thurman. I mean, guys.
He even
for the
said
first,
it was
been a great safety.
for the first
It's a
6
great
weeks,
pickup.
for the first 6 weeks of the season, the Eagles had the best secondary
Yep.
in the league.
And that was
until
a chip
Billy
move.
Davis went to that 3-4-4.
Well, and
Billy
and-
Davis is
listen,
a terrible defensive coordinator,
No,
and he
Listen,
yes,
he was always
He-
terrible.
he
was
came
terrible.
from
He was always terrible in Cleveland.
He came
Like,
from
he was terrible there.
Yeah.
But
Oh man.
listen. That was a chip
You have
move.
to- you
know,
have
that
to
was
retool,
the
Zach.
Walter Thurman move. He came
can't
over here as a
rebuild.
cornerback, and Chip turned him into a safety.
Yup.
And that was something that was like apparently like Chip doesn't get any. Oh, it was a terrible. Like no, that was one of those
But
personnel decisions
let me
that
ask
Chip
you,
actually
let me
did a
ask
good
you,
job.
guys. Where did he come from? He came from Seattle.
Oh, he did.
He played with Seattle with good talent.
also played at Oregon.
and he played with the Giants.
and he played with the Giants.
And he also played with the Ducks.
yeah.
Oh
which-
yeah.
So maybe we should. He played with Seattle.
But
Let's keep the fact that he was an Oregon Duck out of it.
I want to keep him. Yeah, definitely. Another thing I want to mention
You gotta
about
retool, though.
Jeffrey Lurie, about me retooling. 18 years, Jeffrey Lurie's been the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah.
And the first time that I can remember, or the first time ever, Jeffrey Lurie left with disgust after the last game of the season against it was a must-win against the
Redskins.
Washington Redskins. Okay, now you look at Jeffrey Lurie. Jeffrey Lurie didn't. He was so disgusted, and I personally think this, and actually I talked to one of my buddies, John Brenner, actually before the show, and we both agreed on it. We were touch base on it, and he said the same thing that I thought. When Chip Kelly came out and he basically threw Jeffrey Lurie, Jeffrey Lurie was like, oh, I'm done with this guy. But they were asking him questions, and he came out, and Chip Kelly actually said, he didn't want to take full responsibility and said, I'm not the GM. And I think that,
That's Jerry left
Lurie
you,
completely, exploded, and Lurie said,
Yeah.
you know what?
So-
I'm tired of this guy. I gave him the key to the castle, and now all of a sudden, he wants to say that.
And I think-
I don't.
So Sean, so are you with Ralph? You want to retool or
Yes,
rebuild? You
I
want
wanna
to retool.
retool, yes.
All right, we're gonna take a quick break. A2DRadio.com. We're gonna come back. I'm gonna tell you both why you're wrong, okay, and why we should go the opposite
Can't
direction.
wait to hear it, bud.
And this is the rundown on A2DRadio.com. We're brought to you by
Cam
Legends
Newton's
Tab,
gonna be MVP.
located right down the street at 318 High Street in Burlington, New Jersey. The best pizza this side of the Delaware. Call them at 609-386-3001. And yes, Ralph, Cam Newton will be the MVP. Take us to commercial, Maddie.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Family owned and operated, Romeo's only employs the safest, most effective methods to rectify your situation. Whether it's at your house or at your commercial residence, no matter what the concern may be, they'll get the job done. Raccoons, squirrels, bed bugs, termites, you name it, they'll take care of it. Satisfaction guaranteed. Give them a call at 856-341-3927 or look them up on Facebook at Romeo's Pest Control or visit their website at www.romeospestcontrol.com, your local pest control provider.
Hey, are you interested in moving to the South Jersey area? Or are you looking to buy, sell, or rent a house? Have no fear, Kingsgate Realty is here to help you out. They have hundreds of listings on their site for your financing needs. Be sure to call Patrick Bokikio at 856-931-1200. Once again, that is 856-931-1200. Or you can email him at patbo@kingsgatere.com. Be sure to visit kingsgatere.com today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet, located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey, with over 40 years of customer experience giving the latest in uniforms and equipment to sports enthusiasts of baseball, softball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or send them an email at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all of your sporting needs.
The Rundown, only on A2DRadio.com.
This is the Rundown on A2DRadio.com, brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Call 856-889-3434. Visit the website, scanzanosports.com. The Philly Sports Fix boys have just entered the building. Ryan Brodo, Frank Vespi are here. They're going to sit down and take a seat. This is a good day to take a seat, fellas. We almost were punching each other in the face in the first 20 minutes. So.
Yeah, I had to split it up a little bit.
We needed to get the camera and put the camera on. Sean was jumping in the middle to play mediator.
Yeah.
Me and Ralph were about to throw down. It was about to be a heavyweight against a lightweight. I'm not sure how it was going to go, but it might have been a lot of fun to be here and watch. It's calmed down now a little bit, so might not get back to that point. Right now, currently, we're talking reset or retool, and both Sean and Ralph want to retool.
Not a lot of people are going to want to wait, dude.
Well, and I agree with you. Yeah, and you guys, that's where you guys are 100% right. This fan base is impatient to begin with. So
you
impatient.
don't even know who our quarterback's going to be.
Sam Bradford.
Well,
There's no one out there.
For me,
Or what do you guys want to do? You guys want to move down and draft
see,
Deshaun Watson? So I can go out and get a
Watson
Watson jersey?
Watson's not going to leave yet. You got to wait till next year to get Watson.
So you want to throw and get Watson?
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to trying to get Deshaun Watson next year. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a heck of a quarterback, but he's not leaving after this year. I don't think he's only a sophomore.
I'm saying, so you want to throw this season?
No, I mean, no.
Maybe
you try
go out
to
and
win.
get Deshaun Watson
but
next season.
All right, it's a good question because as I said before the break, I thought you guys were wrong because I feel the best way to go about this. I'm with you guys. Listen, I'm just as impatient as you guys are. We've all been Eagles fans our whole life. You're talking about a fan base. The Eagles win 20 games in 2 years under Chip Kelly, and he's got one down year, and we run him out the door. Yeah. That's how impatient of a fan base we are. Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. This can't be a 5-year rebuilding plan. We can't say, okay, in 5 years we're going to win a Super Bowl. This fan base
people are going to go.
Fan base is going to be like,
blowing up Philadelphia.
They're going to be like, what about the first 4 years? Yeah. You know, what about that? Well, it's a 5-year plan. Well, all right, wake me up in 5 years. So, we got to win quick, but. This is my whole thing.
3 years.
I'm scared.
3-5.
I don't want to get caught in a position where you're just now patching. Let's going to fill this hole with the best guy available. I'm going to patch this hole with the best guy available. And you end up being the Sixers over a 6-year, 7-year stretch there with Andre Iguodala when they're trying their best to be competitive, but they can't ever be anything more than a 7 or 8 seed in the playoffs. I don't want that. I'd rather be the worst team in football and get the number 1 overall pick than for the next 6 or 7 years just be that team that sneaks in as a 6 seed every playoff year, being 9-7.
That happens.
Don't
you're
want
gonna
that
see. You're not
because this fan base. Let's face it. Let's not lie. Let's not try to kid ourselves. Our fan base isn't gonna be happy with that either. Are you kidding me? Our fan base isn't gonna be happy with being 9-7 6 years in a row and maybe sneak into the playoffs 3 or 4 of those years just because of the fact that the rest of the NFC East was weak, or maybe because there was a wild card position that we got because the NFC as a whole was weak or something. That's not gonna be the case. We want Super Bowls.
Yeah,
so
but listen, I understand what you're saying, but how about this? We have to draft well.
Well, that's my point.
And we're not drafting
draft,
well.
This
exactly.
Draft, you go offensive line.
Now you
first
guys
pick.
are figuring
another
it out,
Danny
right?
Watkins, though?
You have to,
No,
dude.
hold
A
on,
28-year-old fossil that played 2 years of football?
Now
Come
you
on.
guys are figuring this out. I want an Andy Reid type of rebuilding plan. When he came here in 1999, and that does not mean I want Doug Peterson as my head coach just because he's an Andy Reid guy. No, it does not mean that. Okay? But when Andy got here, the plan was we're going to rebuild. We're going to draft well. We're going to bring in a ton of young talent. And in a couple years, we're going to be competitive. And what happened? We drafted so well, and we brought in so much young talent so quickly that in a 2-year period, we all of a sudden become a playoff team, and by the year 3 of the Andy Reid era, we're all of a sudden playing for an NFC championship game against the St. Louis Rams. So by trying to rebuild and take that attitude, you ended up retooling and becoming a more competitive
We had a
team.
smash-mouth defense, man. We need a smash-mouth defense. Back in
Okay,
them days.
and you have young players on this defense like Fletcher Cox that we've already talked about that could be a centerpiece in that smash mouth defense. Now you have to draft well.
Corners.
You have to draft good young talent. You have to draft guys like Luke Kuechly. You have to find those types of guys. You're not going to sit here and go into free agency, sign every best free agent available, because what you're going to end up is what you had the dream team year. That's not going to happen, and that's the only way to retool.
Well, one thing about Lurie, and you got to give it to him. One thing about Jeffrey Lurie, the dream team year, even back in 2004, every free agent. Okay, Terrell Owens, we won. All right, 2004. Javon Curse, we won. Let's go out and get him.
Hold on,
I'm
hold
just
on.
telling you,
Hold on,
they
though.
went out and they went shopping.
Terrell Owens was a good pickup. Javon Curse sucked here.
Come on,
let's
man.
Let's not. Hold on. Javon Curse was a bust
he
here.
Was still
he didn't do anything.
He was still a big free agent.
He was a big free agent that did nothing. He was DeMarco Murray.
I'm just telling you, he was still. That was a good one. That was a good comparison right there.
But he did nothing here.
But I'm just
we just
saying,
had a good enough team
I'm
around him.
I'm trying to give my owner some props. Okay. Another thing is what our owner did.
Okay, and I agree with you.
Even the Dream Team year, Nnamdi Asamoah. All right, okay, the biggest bust of them all.
Right.
How much we signed him for? I don't even know.
A lot of money.
A lot of money.
Yes.
It's basically the same. I don't know.
Well, he played in a different scheme. He played in a zone,
Dude,
but he played
horrible,
man-to-man.
horrible.
He played
couldn't,
man-to-man in
he
Oakland,
couldn't
though.
cover me, dude.
Let's pick this conversation up on the other side of the break because we're going to talk this Eagles head coaching search as it continues. And your point, Sean, about Jeffrey Lurie, him being a smart owner, is a good point. I agree with you. And he's been here now for over 20 years. He's been here through the Andy Reid era. He's been here through the Chip Kelly, what he calls a disaster. I'm hoping he's learned enough through that where he now understands I've got to bring in a smart head coach, an Andy Reid type of thing, where that's going to be, that's our success plan. That's how we're going to build success going forward. He's a smart enough guy and a smart enough owner. I think you're right. Hopefully he has figured that part of it out, and he's going to bring the right guy in to do that. Let's take one more break. It's the last break on the rundown on A2DRadio.com. When we come back, we're going to talk the Eagles head coaching search. We're brought to you by Harry's Contracting for a professional home improvement. Give Harry Ernst a call at 609-638-6336. You can email him at harryscontractingimprovements@gmail.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2DRadio.com.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by Romeo's Termite and Pest Control. Family owned and operated, Romeo's only employs the safest, most effective methods to rectify your situation. Whether it's at your house or at your commercial residence, no matter what the concern may be, they'll get the job done. Raccoons, squirrels, bed bugs, termites, you name it, they'll take care of it. Satisfaction guaranteed. Give them a call at 856-341-3927 or look them up on Facebook at Romeo's Pest Control or visit their website at www.romeospestcontrol.com, your local pest control provider.
Hey, are you interested in moving to the South Jersey area? Or are you looking to buy, sell, or rent a house? Have no fear, Kingsgate Realty is here to help you out. They have hundreds of listings on their site for your financing needs. Be sure to call Patrick Bokikio at 856-931-1200. Once again, that is 856-931-1200. Or you can email him at patbo@kingsgatere.com. Be sure to visit kingsgatere.com today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet, located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey, with over 40 years of customer experience giving the latest in uniforms and equipment to sports enthusiasts of baseball, softball, football, basketball, hockey, soccer, and much more. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or send them an email at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit their website at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all of your sporting needs.
You're listening to The Rundown, only on A2DRadio.com.
This is The Rundown on A2DRadio.com, our new graphic, thanks to Ryan Brodo. I love it. It's a lot better than the one I came up with Frank Vespi. I have no artistic skill. I don't have an artistic bone in my body. No, Frank, Frank's not no, Frank, you did a good job. I just didn't do a good job of giving you the color scheme. Yes. Yeah, that was, Frank was mad. He thought I was criticizing him. No, mine just, it didn't work real good. I don't have an artistic, I've got a lot of autistic bones. I don't have any artistic bones, though.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, that was they were about to lean in and say something, and that got the Philly Sports Fix guys to lean back outside the curtain. Yeah, it was an autism joke. It kind of it was in poor taste.
Yeah.
It was in poor taste. We're talking this Eagles head coaching search, and we want to segue kind of off of the points that we were all making about retool or rebuild. You guys want to retool. I want to more rebuild, more in the style. Now, I guess the way I'm describing it, it's not really rebuilding. It's taking a rebuilding approach to retooling in a lot of ways. That's the way I want to look at it. You're taking a rebuilding approach towards retooling because rebuilding means it's like a 3, 4, 5-year plan. We're rebuilding 5 years from now. We want to be one of the best teams in football. Yeah. Retooling means 2, 3 years from now, we're going to be back there as a top team. And that's what I want.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need to take a rebuilding type of attitude, a la what Andy Reid did when he drafted Donovan McNabb and something like that to get to that level where we want to be. Now, Sean, before the break, you mentioned Jeffrey Lurie being you think he's a smart enough owner where he's going to be able to bring in the right guy to do that.
Yes.
But I'm disappointed. Because just as we talk about that.
I got a report right now. It's just in. The Philadelphia Eagles are reporting that they are bringing Adam Gase in for a second interview. And, Ralph, you said that he is favored 3-1.
3-1 to become the Eagles' next
That's
head coach.
Right. So you want a Chicago Bears coordinator that the reason why they're so big on him is because they are thinking that, okay, we made Jay Cutler have an okay season. Okay, they're thinking that he's going to, be back to quarterback to where he first came in the league.
Terrible.
So they think they're going to bring him in here and all of a sudden, make Sam Bradford into an elite quarterback. That's the only thing I can think of.
Let me cut you off, okay, because, Ralph, I know you're just as mad as me. I got to go off for a minute, though. Okay, Adam Gase, any of these young coordinators, I hate this. What is up with this thing? Because the guy's a hot young name? What the hell's the guy done as a coordinator in this goddamn
Nothing.
league.
Nothing.
He's done nothing. The guy was in Denver, and they're giving him credit for what the hell he did with Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning hasn't had an offensive coordinator since 2004. Okay, he's been his own goddamn offensive coordinator. I don't want to hear anything about that. Moving on to Chicago, Gary Kubiak from came into Denver and has done the same thing with that offense that Adam Gase was doing.
Yeah.
You move Adam Gase to Chicago, where he's supposed to be the offensive coordinator for John Fox, and they don't win diddly squat.
Yep.
Don't give me anything about how he's helped Jay Cutler look like an average quarterback.
He
I don't
has.
need anybody to look like an average quarterback.
Adam
Adam
Gase-
Gase looks like an average coordinator.
I
What the
told
hell's the
you.
guy done?
Well,
I told you.
obviously
the
they-
Eagles lost.
Listen,
They're taking a big
they
step back.
obviously-
They should have never let go Chip Kelly because we never should have been sitting here right now
They
talking about
they are
this.
reporting right now also, fellas, that Adam Gase is the best available coach
That's terrible.
currently
What the-
right now.
The guy.
So Jeffrey
But listen-
Lurie obviously
Oh,
doesn't want to
man.
wait.
I hate this
He wants to
organization.
get
Hold
on it
Ralph,
right
I'm gonna-
now.
I hate this
I'm going
organization,
to
dude.
give you a minute here, Ralph, in a minute. But this is why I don't understand. How in the hell? This is why I don't understand about all these hot young names and the coordinators that come through systems. You've got guys like Steve Spagnuolo out there who, because the guy had a down record as a head coach in St. Louis, where nobody's been able to have any success since they came back to St. Louis. Since Mike Martz left there and Kurt Warner retired, they haven't had diddly squat any type of success. Okay, so all of a sudden, Steve Spagnuolo, at that point when he became the St. Louis Rams head coach, is one of the brightest defensive minds, one of the brightest defensive coordinators, one of the brightest assistants in all of football. And he has 4 bad years as a head coach in St. Louis, and all of a sudden he goes from a great defensive mind or a great mind and a great coach to somebody who's just average all of a sudden, and Adam Gase is now the new head thing? No, that's bullcrap to me. You want to talk about great candidates, great coordinator? I mean, heck, I told you last time, I'm not even a fan of Sean McDermott, but bring Sean McDermott in here over a guy like Adam Gase.
He even said yesterday that he wants to relive the Philly. He wants to come back to Philly and relive the magic.
Listen. I'm not. People are going to laugh at me. People might laugh at me when I say this, okay? And I'm just going to start throwing names out there at this point, okay? But to me, these should be names that are realistic, where at least we're talking about. Nobody wants to talk about a guy like Mike Shula. Yeah, who? Mike Shula? Who the hell's that? That's the offensive coordinator in Carolina. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying the guy would be a great head coach, but I'm just saying, look at the success he's had there in Carolina. We're talking about a coordinator like an Adam Gase who hasn't had any type of success yet at any point as an offensive coordinator. Yet a guy like Mike Shula is going to be dismissed because he had 4 bad years as head coach of Alabama when he's done nothing but been successful in grooming Cam Newton into the NFL MVP.
And what's scaring me, fellas, is if this doesn't work out and our next coach comes in here, we could become the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
This could be even more of a setback. And I hate to say this, but we need someone that's going to come in here and make change. We can't have another dud coach.
Honestly,
Can't
I think
happen.
I
Can't
think
happen.
I don't want it. I don't want the Gase.
And
I don't
that's-
want that. I want right now. Pat Shermer looked amazing as
Listen,
the Eagles head coach.
Come on, man.
Hold on, though.
Fellas, hold
Come on,
It's
dude.
a terrible Giants team. It's a terrible Giants team.
Listen,
Come on.
Listen, Pat Shermer, I don't think has a leadership bone in his body. The guy is so damn quiet. But to your point, but to what we're talking about here, we're talking about Adam Gase being a 3-1 favorite to be the next head coach here. At least Pat Shermer has head coaching experience.
Yeah.
At least the guy was in this
I agree,
system.
I agree.
You want to talk about retooling? At
I
least you've
agree.
got a guy where you're not going to have
For
to
3
change a lot of
years.
what you're doing.
No.
Oh, listen, I'm done with the college coaches too, fellas. I don't want to go
People
through
want
college
to talk
again.
about David Shaw.
Yeah,
I'm done
we're
with
done-
that.
I'm done with college
but
coaches.
let me 180 this and bring this back because you heard Frank Vespi, Ryan. They're out there laughing when I brought up a guy like Mike Shula. I'm not saying the guy's. I'm not saying I want the guy as my head coach. But my point is, we're sitting here laughing at names like that.
Yeah.
Yet apparently names like Adam Gase, names like that have all of a sudden, that's the top name in all of football. If anybody should be getting respect the way a guy like Adam Gase is, it's a guy like a Mike Shula who's done nothing but have success since he showed up in a place like that. That's all I'm saying. I don't want Mike Shula here any more than anybody else. But I'm just saying I don't want Adam Gase here because he hasn't done anything.
Do you think Chip Kelly, if the Eagles go that route and the Eagles hire Adam Gase, do you think Chip Kelly is going to be cracking up? You think he'll be sitting there laughing?
I'll be cracking up. So I don't know.
I'm just saying. Do you think Chip will absolutely laugh and say, you know what,
Just
they're
to get
hiring
off
this
topic, just to get off topic
Okay.
right now, NHL trade just happened with the Florida Flyers. Flyers traded Vincent LeCavalier, Luke Shen to the Kings for prospect Jordan Wheel and a 3rd-round draft pick.
Wow.
Just happened right now
Wow.
for Philadelphia.
Here,
Love the report, Ralph.
we've
But
got
back on the Eagles.
Yeah, we've got 2 minutes left here. I want to bring something in because we talked. It was talked about. Tom, our boss Tom Arnone on Agree to Disagree, very, very, positive on his feelings for Doug Peterson, how he wouldn't be opposed to Doug Peterson being the next head coach. He talked about the Andy Reid tree. Now, if we want to tie this into what I'm talking about, you bring in, you want somebody that you can respect as a coordinator. This is the guy going forward that we're going to rebuild with and, be able to bring in young talent with. We talk about Adam Gase. I'm right back to the same place with Doug Peterson as I am with a guy like listen, I love the Eagles connection. I actually like Doug Peterson more than Adam Gase because of the Eagle connection. That's why I talk about I'd want a guy like McDermott. I want a guy like Spagnuolo. I'd rather have a guy like that with the Eagles connection over a Gase or somebody like that. But we're talking about a guy like Doug Peterson. And it's not just Tom. I bring up Tom because he talked about it the other night on the show. But Comcast Sportsnet Philadelphia and a lot of these Philadelphia sports organizations, they're reporting that this guy could be the leading candidate. I don't get this.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Listen.
I don't like young offensive coordinators just like you. I don't like them.
Well, listen.
I want a guy that has experience, and I think Pat Shurmur has the most experience going into the interviews.
It'd be one thing if Peterson is the quarterback and technically listed as the offensive coordinator out there in Kansas City. He's not even running the offense out there. Andy Reid is still calling the plays out there.
Yep.
Doug Peterson has been the quarterback coach for Alex Smith, who stinks. Be honest, he stinks. This is not what Andy Reid was when Andy Reid left Green Bay as the quarterback's coach / offensive coordinator and came here for Mike Holmgren's system. Andy Reid came here after grooming Brett Favre into a 3-time NFL MVP as his quarterback's coach. Andy Reid came here with a Super Bowl ring on his finger as an assistant coach.
Yep.
Andy Reid came here with a briefcase full of, I'm qualified
and that's
for
because
this
of Joe
position.
Banner, and Joe Banner's the reason why Andy Reid came here, by the way.
So you want Joe Banner back?
I might want to take him back.
Real quick, because we got to wrap it up and head out. But real quick before we go, Ralph, who do you want to be your next head coach? You want Pat Shurmur.
Yep.
Sean.
I want a veteran coach who's going to come here. I don't care if it's Brian Billick. I want someone that has some jewelry that came here and it's going to make a change. I just don't. I don't want an offense coordinator, nor do I want a college coach. So I mean, it looks like my dreams come true are kind of
call me crazy.
shattered.
I want Steve Spagnuolo, and I'll bring Doug Peterson in as my
I'll
offensive
take Steve
coordinator.
Spagnuolo.
I want
Another
Steve
chance.
Spagnuolo to be the head coach. Peterson can come be our offensive coordinator.
Remember Gus Bradley?
And on that note, we're going to head out. This is the rundown on A2DRadio.com. No Gus Bradley talk while I'm here. We're sponsored by Gibson Mayer LLC, certified public accountants, 301 Oxford Valley Road in Yardley, Pennsylvania. Give them a call, 215-369-3300.
Tom Brady for MVP.
Cam Newton's going to be the MVP. Enough.
Oh, boy.